Hey, and welcome back to day 3 of the 5-day challenge. And this lesson in the challenge is all about pitching freelance leads. So let's have a little overview of today's challenge. But first, we'll kick off the challenge by quickly reviewing what we did yesterday in the challenge. So what we did was we set up an email sequence in ConvertKit to nurture our leads. We wrote that nurture sequence of emails for the new leads. And we created some automations to tag our leads who clicked links in our emails so that we were kind of starting to gather and create a profile around our leads to see what they're interested in, what they're clicking on. So we know which emails and which leads are hot leads or leads that are kind of being scored. We're scoring them to see who, is most interested in our services all automatically. So we did that yesterday in our challenge. And in today's challenge, we're going to create an email sales or pitch sequence that will be automatically sent to your new lead once they have completed the nurture sequence. So what is the benefit you'll receive from today's challenge by completing today's lesson in the challenge? Now that we have a method for capturing and nurturing our leads, we need to take a relationship with the lead further. You can't build a successful business on hope marketing, as we talked about a couple days back. So we just can't hope our new lead will like the free value we sent them so much that they're just going to call us and hire us on the spot. Not going to happen. We need to ask for the sale. At least we need to give the lead a little push into considering the sale. But this is automation. So we can have our magical autoresponder robots do the selling and the pitching for us. The benefit is that you are essentially creating an army of virtual versions of yourself that go out, prospect, nurture, and pitch to your leads. By creating that pitch sequence, we're filling in one of the most important pieces of the puzzle of automation. So what do you need to know about today's lesson? We're going to heavily rely on ConvertKit's sequence and automations features so that we can recognize when a lead has completed the nurture sequence, when they've reached that last email, which will then remove them from the nurture sequence and add them to the pitch sequence. Our pitch sequence needs to contain a few things. Roughly 6 to 8 days worth of emails, a blend of educational emails, soft sells, and a hard sell, and testimonials if you have them. Also, we should include some frequently asked questions. All right, just a quick walkthrough of your action steps. Of course, you can scroll down below this video and follow the text-based version of the action steps, but I wanted to give you a video walkthrough so that you're clear on what you need to do. In ConvertKit, under sequences, go ahead and create a new sequence and call it pitch sequence or freelance pitch sequence. I have mine queued up already here, and I've called mine freelance pitch sequence. Template here is just for my own purposes. You can call it whatever you want, but pitch sequence is what you're going to be creating under sequences. Go ahead and do that. And basically, we're going to come right back to this, but the next step is to create an automation. And we want to create an automation that basically checks to see when a lead finishes the nurture sequence. We want to unsubscribe them from that sequence and then add them to our new pitch sequence, which is why I wanted you to create the pitch sequence so that we can actually choose it, once we're doing the automation. So go to your automations now, and we want to create a new rule. So click on add rule. And then under the triggers and actions, I want you to choose the trigger that completes a sequence. So choose your nurture sequence, and then you can do multiple actions. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's first tag that user, that lead, with a tag that says something like completed nurture sequence. So we can add a tag, and you could just click on create a new tag and add that tag right there. You don't even have to go to the subscribers tab, add a new tag, and come back. It makes it really easy. So you can do that. And if you already have an existing tag, you can click select existing tag, choose it from your dropdown. So go ahead and do that. I've chosen completed nurture sequence in my list of tags. I'm going to add click the plus sign here, and that will give me another option to add another action. And the next one I'm going to do is unsubscribe from a sequence, and I'm going to choose the lead nurture sequence because they're done. I want them away from it just in case we update it. I don't want them getting new emails, so I'm going to remove them from it completely. So that is the next action. And then one last action, I'm going to subscribe them to a new sequence, and that will be our pitch sequence. So I'm going to choose the plus sign there, the icon, and then subscribe to a sequence. And I'm going to choose the pitch sequence. And there we go. So you can see once they've completed the nurture sequence, tag them with completed nurture, unsubscribe them from the lead nurture sequence, and then subscribe them to the pitch sequence. Go ahead and save that rule. Go back to your sequences. And now what I want you to do in your pitch sequence is to add 6 emails to the sequence. I already have mine queued up here, and I'll give you a little rundown of what it is. In the text section below, I give you some direction on how to write your pitch sequence, and then you're free to modify and play around and come up with whatever you wish that works for your business. So one day after the subscription, so once they finished the nurture sequence and they're added to the pitch sequence, I want to give a 1-day delay. I don't want to email right after I send them the last email in the nurture sequence. I want to give a little bit of time. You can even give a couple days if you want. It's totally up to you on how aggressive you want to be. So I'm going to start off with an educational message plus introduce the product or service. Keep the message educational, but you can give an early intro to the product or the service here. Something like, I'm a web designer, as you've learned over the past, few weeks, I help lawyers create websites. Just something to let them know. The next email a couple days later is a soft sell. So keep the message educational, provide some value, but work in a soft sell for the product or service, like a PS at the end, which can be a great way to casually mention it. What I would do is a link to your RFP or Calendly schedule. You could say, hey, if you want to know a little bit more about how I can help you, fill out the request for proposal form, let me know about your project and your company, and then, maybe we can go from there. Something like that. Next one is an educational message a couple days later, plus a testimonial. So just focus on being useful, add another resource or link, article, video, so on, with your commentary, of course. And you can boost your credibility by working in a testimonial from a previous client related to the educational message. So if it's a link to a certain video about a certain topic, if you have a testimonial from a previous client that can relate to that specific video in some way, even loosely, work that in there. That could be incredibly valuable. 3 days after, work in a hard sell. Give a little bit more time before you jump in with that. It could be a hard pitch for your product or service. Focus on your product, not an educational message. A single link to take them to your request for proposal form or a link to book a call. You're not trying to say, let's start the project right now, send me money. Your hard sell is basically to fill out your project proposal form or to book a call. Keep that in mind. So it's not necessarily you're trying to say, give me $1,000, give me $5,000 to do your WordPress site. You're basically saying, hey, it's time to take some action, fill out the RFP or give me a call. Let's do this. That's the hard sell. Unless you have a product that you actually want to sell, like a $99 a month SEO service or whatever it is, you can pitch it like that. A couple days after that, address some concerns plus acknowledge, and resolve hesitation. So I like to use this as an opportunity to address concerns that your lead is going to have. For example, create some frequently asked questions will address and resolve the concerns and hesitations they are experiencing. So things like, how much does this cost? Or, is a custom WordPress website right for my business? I don't have the time to keep my website updated. What do I do if X happens? How can I be sure I'm getting my money's worth? And so on. Everyone has hesitations before buying something. You'll actually increase your chances of converting a lead if you put their hesitations up front and center and then resolve them. This builds immense trust. You're not hiding anything. A couple days after, a soft sell. Keep it educational. Work the sales pitch back in. Remember, it needs to be useful. So don't just keep hammering them with hard asks. You want to, keep them aware, but not be too aggressive. And you can modify this to work best for your personality as well. And then 5 days after that, if they haven't taken action, send this email, to people who haven't taken action. I'll show you how to do that in a moment here. And then ask them why. Send this email only to the subscribers who have not booked a call with you or filled out an RFP form. And use this as an opportunity to ask why they didn't take any action in a non-confrontational way, of course. This helps you understand the hesitations of certain leads so you can address them directly or keep them in mind for other leads. So basically say, hey, I noticed, you didn't book a call. I was just curious why. I know you're really busy. I respect your time. Maybe now's not the time. Let me know. I'm just kind of curious. Something like that. However you want to word it. And the way that you're going to want to filter them out is up here in the details, the info that you can modify for this specific message. There's an icon that looks like a filter, like a funnel, and you can filter out subscribers you don't want to receive this specific email. So click that, and you can do any number of things from tags to, if they've subscribed to certain forums and timelines and so on and so forth. There's a ton that you can do to exclude specific subscribers. So what I would do is matching any of the following, add a filter, subscribed to tags, and I'm going to use the tag, I believe it's booked a call. Booked a business call. Add that filter. So 17 subscribers for me would be excluded from this specific email. So you can actually, within your pitch sequence, remove and exclude certain leads from specific emails using these filters. So that is kind of cool. Now, one last little thing I wanted to show you just kind of as a bonus little feature in ConvertKit is you can actually, just to show you, I mentioned you can filter out specific subscribers entirely. The other thing you can do is you can send custom messages in your emails to subscribers if based on the tags that they have. So let's say, for example, you click, say we're in the text box here, personalize. You could do the name, subscriber's name with the fallback. You've seen that it does certain things like, hey, subscriber first name, or if they don't have a first name added to your account, just hello or something like that. The other thing you could do is use subscribers tags. And then it has a little bit of a short code sort of syntax here. It says if subscriber tags contains, and then in parentheses, quotations, tag name. So I would take the actual verbatim tag name, booked a business call. So if the subscriber's tags, so whoever's receiving this email, if they are tagged with booked a business call, show them this content. Otherwise, show them this content. So you could say, instead of saying, ask why they didn't take action, you could say, thanks so much for booking a call. Let's keep in touch, etc. Whatever you want to say, and get a little space there. Or if they don't have that tag, that they haven't booked a business call. So you can say, didn't book a call yet? Just curious why, etc. So this specific email would be custom to the person and their tag. So there's a lot of really cool customization that you can do right in ConvertKit, just like that. So play around with that part to modify your pitch sequence and your nurture sequence as well. It's kind of cool. There's a lot that you can do. I want to show you the bare basics so you're not wasting time with features and bells and whistles, but that's what I want you to do. So quick little recap, set up your sequence, your pitch sequence, create that automation that takes the user from the nurture sequence, unsubscribes them, tags them with completed the nurture, and add them to the pitch sequence. And then in your pitch sequence, add your 6 emails, add your messaging, schedule them out, do a little bit of customization with the personalization merge tags, play around with that, use the guidelines that I give you below. You'll see in the formats, you'll see, how to kind of write them out and what to include, and, filter them out using the filter icons. And that's it. So feel free to tweak that to best suit your needs. So go ahead and scroll down, check out your action steps. We have a few action steps for you to set up your pitch or your sales sequence. And to get those emails written out, I have some guidelines and templates for you to use below so that you can get that up and running as quick as possible. I show you how to create some automations. And that should be all you need to do for today's challenge. It's pretty straightforward, but it's a very, very important piece of the puzzle. So go ahead, scroll down, read through it, check out your action steps, and get going. Get that piece of the puzzle added, and I'll see you in day 4 in tomorrow's lesson of the challenge. Good luck. Catch you tomorrow.